Yo, what is going on, guys? Today we're talking about the best controller settings to use for Warzone and Modern Warfare multiplayer. Now, also in this video, at the very end, I will have the best PC settings as well, if you happen to be on PC and controller like myself. Also, if you happen to be a content creator, this video will be really helpful because I do have a lot of optimization tips that I just learned from another video. I'll have that video linked in the description down below. We're just going to call in this nuke, then we're going to hop into the controller settings right away. Alright guys, so hopping right into it, no fluff. For the button layout, you know what, this is totally up to you. I know a lot of people use stick and move or tactical flip if you don't have a scuff. I don't use a scuff. If anything, I would recommend buying a regular controller and then buy the Battle Beaver attachment on the back, because scuff controllers, I've gone through like 20 already and they just break so quickly. I don't know what it is. Like, they're just not built to last, and they cost like $200-300 after you're finished, you know, customizing the shit out of it. So button layout is totally up to you. Stick layout, totally up to you as well. I don't know anybody that plays on invert vertical look, so just leave that disabled. Dead zone, what you want to do is you have to play with this in a custom match if you can, or like in a live lobby as well. You want your dead zone to be as low as possible before you have stick drift. So for me, I used to have it at a 0.10, but I didn't have stick drift at 0.04, so I turned it to 0.05. That way it's as low as possible. I've found that 10 sensitivity, 10-10 is super good. It's really good for sniping, quick scoping, and also like being all around, like cracked around the map, being able to turn on people really fast. 7 is actually high, and then 13 is really high. Especially if you're on controller, you don't want to be going over like 13, because at that point your micro adjustments are actually going to mess up your aim assist, and you're going to be losing out on the best part of having a controller, which would be aim assist. The ADS sensitivity, again, low zoom and high zoom, I keep them at default. That's 1-1. Aim response curve type, you actually do want to keep this at standard. Like, it's up to you. Some people use dynamic, but you know, those are mostly professional players. Make sure your controller vibration is disabled. Aim assist, you want to keep this on standard as well. It's going to give you the largest possible aim assist box, pretty much. Again, you want to like capitalize on the fact that you're using a controller. You have aim assist. It's not going to be like the biggest thing in the world, but you know, you want to use it because it is there. And then scale aim assist with FOV. This is if you're on PC only. Just make sure it's disabled. Again, you want to keep your aim assist as big as possible. The weapon mount is all standard. All that shit is standard. Aim down sight behavior, that's standard. Just hold it. Equipment behavior, hold. Again, that's standard. Use reload button, tap to reload, that's standard as well. Depleted ammo, automatically switch, enabled, like that's standard also. Slide behavior, you do need to make sure that this is set to tap. I think default it comes set to hold, make sure it's set to tap. And then the biggest game changer that like I literally just switched to 2 days ago, that has made the world of difference in my gameplay already: automatic tactical sprint. So when this setting first came out, I tried it and then it just felt so weird. I didn't like it. I've been playing Call of Duty for like 10 years. It felt so like weird to me and I didn't want to get adjusted to it. So I turned it off immediately. I was like, nope, fuck that. Get me out of there. But honestly, you want to use automatic tactical sprint. And I'm actually going to show you guys how to get used to it in 10 minutes. I literally got used to it in 10 minutes. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I did it. You can do the exact same thing. And then I promise, after a couple of hours of playing, or even just one game of playing, you guys are going to see such a huge difference. If I had to assign a legitimate number to it moving around the map, I feel 10% faster. 10% faster sounds like a small number, but that is a huge number. You're just automatically in tactical sprint at all times, and your movement becomes instantly so much better. It feels like you are always prepared for a gunfight. Like every single second, you are prepared for a gunfight. So plain and simple, just hop into a private match, custom game, whatever it may be for you, and then literally just put on like 6 or 7 bots. It doesn't matter what difficulty they're on. I would leave them at like recruit or regular, because you're not worried about like dying and stuff. You're just worried about practicing the movement and getting the feel for it. And I would recommend like using a gun that you frequent all the time. For me, I'm using my exact same MP5 class, so I'm kind of like aim training at the exact same time. But the main thing is like I'm practicing on getting a kill, getting out, getting a kill, getting out. The amount of times now that I've been able to survive gunfire while I'm in motion has increased so much. It's crazy, guys. I'm telling you, you're gonna notice such a huge difference in your gameplay instantly. Turn this on. It's probably gonna feel weird for a lot of people if you've been playing Call of Duty for a long time, or if you've tried it before like me and then you turned it back off because you didn't like it. I don't know, maybe I'm just a boomer, but honestly, you want to be using automatic tactical sprint. This is where it's at. It makes everything so much better. Again, as you can see, movement just becomes so much more clean and fluid. So definitely, without a doubt, from using ATS for 2 straight days now, I can tell you guys that you will feel so much more faster moving around the map. It's insane how much faster you will actually feel and how much better your gameplay will feel as well. And then the hugest thing that's like, it's a feeling, nobody can like really prove it, I guess, but you're going to feel so much more responsive on the map. It's going to feel like you are constantly ready for a gunfight. What's that? Someone shoots at you, you slide like instantly, and you're sliding from an automatic tactical sprint, or you're sliding from a sprint. We're gonna finish up this last little pistol clip. If you do happen to like to use like semi-automatic weapons, like, you know, a Kar 98, like if you're using a sniper in Warzone all the time, or for some reason if you're using like, I don't know, say you're using like dual Diamatis, anything that's like semi-automatic, I'd recommend using a semi-automatic a little bit with a tactical sprint on as well if it's your very first time, just to try and get used to it as well. Because again, if you're shooting and then you're pushing the stick forward without zooming in, it's gonna put your gun up, and I'm sure you don't want to do that. So you just need to get used to it. But as soon as you have it down, it is literally second nature. You'll never have to worry about it ever again. Now, if you're like me, you're playing controller on PC, I'm gonna go over probably the absolute best PC settings to be using. This is gonna vary, like if you're a streamer or if you're just a content creator, or if you're just playing for your own amusement. But I would start with these base settings and then tweak stuff from there. So if you are on PC, again, this is only gonna be for PC players. In your graphics section, I recommend using full screen borderless. Make sure you set your display monitor to whatever your display monitor is. For me, it only gives me the choice of my Elgato, because my Elgato is capturing it and it's also doing a little bit of color correction. Display adapter, you won't have to touch that. The render resolution, you have to make sure that it is at least 100. I've seen some people running it below 100, but then you're actually like you're not using like everything in your computer. So make sure you're at least 100. I set it to 101 just to be safe, and my computer seems to handle it enough anyways, so I don't have to worry about it. Aspect ratio automatic. Sync every frame, VSync, make sure this is disabled. So as you can see on the left, there's like a small cut in the window, and then on the right, like enabled would be there's no cut in the window. You're not gonna notice this when you're playing. The only time you would need to have every frame synced is if you're gonna take a still shot, like a thumbnail photo. You would turn on this if you want to get a nice thumbnail and you don't want any lines in there. But while you're just playing the game, you'll never notice it because it's way too fast. And then a custom frame rate limit, you do want to set this. So whatever your monitor hertz level is, that's what you want to set it to. Mine is at 140 hertz, I think. So I just set mine to 150 because it won't go over that, and it doesn't need to try to go over that. So basically you're telling your PC like, hey, this is the cutoff, don't worry about it. When you're in the menus, set your menu custom frame rate to 60, because again, you don't need anything more than 60, and then out of focus custom frame rate limit to 30. Again, this is just gonna help like conserve your PC basically, because you don't need anything more than that while you're just inside the menus. As you can see, that's what it's at exactly right now. For me, I use the Nvidia graphics card, but make sure you disable the highlights and make sure you have the reflex low latency on enabled and boost. Display gamma, just make sure it's set to whatever you're using. If you're using a TV, it's going to be on the right. If you're using a monitor, it's going to be on the left. It tells you right there what the two things are. I'm not going to read off the letters because they sound like ridiculous R2D2 bullshit. But yeah, if you're using a monitor, you use the left. If you're using a TV, you use the right. So easy peasy. Streaming quality, I have this on low. I'm not sure how it would actually affect streaming, like if you're actually streaming. As far as I know, most streamers that I've seen like in their optimization guides, they all keep it at low as well. So I would recommend starting with all these base settings, see how your picture looks, and then compared to your computer, you're going to be able to go up or down. So texture resolution, you want to set this to low or normal. For me, my PC can handle it. My PC isn't that expensive either, so I just keep it on normal because I want the nicest picture possible for my audience to be able to enjoy. And then texture filter, anisotropic or whatever, leave that at normal. Particle quality, Put that down to low. You're not even going to notice a difference between low and high, so it's kind of stupid. If you want bullet impacts, as you can see, it doesn't make like the usage go up at all, so I keep the bullet impacts there. I like to see where the recoil patterns are. Tessellation, you want to disable that or set it to near, up to you. I keep it on disabled. I just don't think you really need it. On-demand texture streaming, if you have a really strong PC, then go ahead and keep that enabled. If not, then I would honestly just keep it disabled. It doesn't make a huge difference, and as you just saw from the gameplay that we were like literally just using, picture looks great. Shadow map resolution, keep this on low, but honestly I put it to normal because I actually use shadows a lot. Catch spot shadows disabled, catch sun shadows disabled. That way it's not saving on your computer. Particle lighting low, direct ray tracing disabled, ambient occlusion disabled. Screen space reflection SSR is on low. Anti-aliasing, this is actually kind of a big one. As you can see on the left, it looks like the truck has like noise around the truck, and then on the right it looks more like a clean regular picture, but it actually does like change your frame rate a lot. So if you're just playing for yourself, I would have anti-aliasing off. If you're playing for an audience, then make sure you do have it on. Filmic strength is at 1.0, depth of field disabled. World motion blur, weapon motion blur, make sure those are always off, never turn those on. Film grain set to 0. Dynamic resolution, this is a brand new setting. Don't use it, it's not worth it. GG's guys, Devour out.